Extension officers of the Fisheries Department of the Ministry of Agriculture, along with regional officials of the various regions, have begun work in identifying those persons who are legitimately qualified to receive the one-off $150,000 cash grant announced by President Dr. Irfan Ali recently. During his meeting with fisherfolk in East Berbice during the past week, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa, who accompanied Vice President Dr. Bharat Jagdeo on his Region 6 outreach, assured fisherfolk of government's commitment to ensuring a smooth and speedy rollout of the grant, but noted that the lessons learned during the recent national flood relief exercise will be applied here to ensure no repetition of the mistakes made. Speaking to fisherfolk at the MMA over the weekend, the Agriculture Minister stressed the government's commitment to bettering the lives of all Guyanese, including fisherfolk. This, he said, has been manifested in many ways since the PPPC government has retaken the reins of government.
You know, and since we reassumed government in 2020 August, we have seen a number of cash transfers that we have made to various sections of the population. You all could remember that when we started out in August of 2020, the first thing we started out was a COVID relief, a COVID cash grant of $25,000. We started out with every household, and eventually every family would have received $25,000. And then last year also, we suffered one of the most devastating floods in our country's history. And $7.8 billion we have allocated to those sectors, the cash crop, rice farmers, and the livestock sector. Another section of the population we have been making out cash release too. And since this government reassumed office in August of 2020, we have seen a number of measures we have put in place.
Another intervention the minister referred to was the removal of all taxes on fuel, which has kept gas prices down despite its upward movement due to global factors, all with the aim of ensuring relief for farmers and fisherfolk and the public at large.
We have reduced the VAT on electricity and water. Take out the VAT on electricity and water. We have taken out the VAT on agriculture machinery, pesticide, chemical, all fishing materials, lead, rope, seine, outboard engine. I just was talking to a couple of you all coming in here just now, and you talk about the gasoline. Well, we took out all the taxes on the gasoline. So there's no other tax that we can reduce from the gasoline or fuel. So the government is not making a cent or any profit from the fuel. Whatever we purchase it for is that the same, the farmers, the fisher folks, everybody are receiving it for. So no consumption tax, no taxes on fuel, right? So you could see all these measures we have put in place to ensure that we bring ease to the lives of Guyanese.
Minister Mustafa called on those in attendance to be honest in their representations as it relates to the efforts by ministry and regional officials in arriving at a genuine list of beneficiaries.
Because people trying to smart the system. And I made this point when I met with the fisher folks on the East Coast. I said that let us don't try to smart this system. We will try to ensure that we have a list that is reflective of the fisher folks in our country. Right? So we, all of us have a responsibility to ensure that we have a proper list. And we will not rush this time to pay the cash grant. We have to have a proper list. We have many landing sites in the country. Our department, the fisheries department, they also have records. Almost 50% of the fisher folks in this country, the vessels, have been registered and licensed. So we have that record. A number of y'all are not licensed. But we know for a fact how many persons are working on a vessel. Like these trawler, drift seine, you have 4, you have 5. Sometimes you have a crew of 5, mostly, or you have a crew of 3. You have a crew of sometimes 2. So we will ensure that we do that. So the whole of June, The whole of June, what we'll do, we'll take the whole of June to get a proper list. We'll go every landing site. You all have to help us. We know we have a number of co-ops that are operating in this country who have been registered with the Co-op Society and also with our fisheries department we have been working with. The National FISHERFOK organization will also help to get us to craft the proper list. So in July we'll pay out this grant, but we have to ensure that we have a list that is reflective of the people who are working in the fishing industry. Because many times now I see people sending me a lot of messages saying that who are fishermen and who are fisher folks who working. You understand? That's the kind of way we can't tolerate here. We have to have a list and have a proper list. And with the fisheries department, we'll be working with the RGC and the other people in the region to ensure that we have a proper list. This afternoon, I start to consult you all. We have consulted a number of other areas. Yesterday we went and we had a meeting at the Upper Quarantine where we met the fisher folks in Region 6. We had a meeting in Region 3 where we meet the fisher folks over there. We had on the East Coast where we meet the fisher folks on the East Coast. Today we are meeting you all in Region 5. During the course of next week, I will be going to Region 2 to meet the fisher folks there in Region 2.
The Agriculture Minister called on the fisher folks to begin looking inland for their livelihood, as the government is now moving rapidly ahead with plans to promote aquaculture development, not only for fish but for the production of prawns for local and export markets. He told those gathered at MMA that should they express an interest, they would be given the necessary support by government in getting any such venture off the ground.
And also what we are doing, whilst the marine catches are low, we are also embarking on new way of doing things. Aquaculture will be the future fishing for us too. So what we've been doing in Region 6, they had these small shrimp farmers who used to produce annually around 250,000 kilograms of shrimp every year. So what we did, we started to work with them and we started to do the capital work. And we started to put in the, put in the infrastructure, and we have already moved production. By half of the project we started, we have already moved production to almost 1,000,000 kilograms of brackish water shrimp. And this project will continue. We're starting now to do we'll start to do these prawns project. The president launched at that investment forum the other day, he launched the prawns project in Bordeaux. We now have a set of young people who will start that project. In Skeldon, we have at the estate at Skeldon, we will take about 2,000 to 3,000 acres of land to start the prawns project there too. These trade or these aquaculture, what we're doing, is very lucrative. You can make a lot of money too. So we have to go into different fields, not only do the same old thing what we used to do since we born. We have to change the way we're doing things if we want a new result. And the government will facilitate you. Any person who have land and they want to go into aquaculture, we will assist them. Contact us and we will assist you to help you set up those things. Either fish, and most in these areas you could do a lot of fish farming, or you could do these prawns too that we are doing. So contact the fisheries department. We already have a project in place, and we will be providing the fingerlings for you all, or the porous larva, to help you to start it. You know what's the porous larva? The small things, some small baby one, where you're starting out with the prawns. Or if you want to do tilapia, our station at Manrupo can provide all the fingerling and we can give you to start it out. Right? So we are helping farmers to go into these new way of doing these fishing.
Officials of the Fisheries Department and the regional authorities in Regions 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 will be meeting with the various fishermen co-ops and groups with a view to arriving at a complete and authentic list of names of beneficiaries of the $150,000 cash grant to be handed out by July month end. Issues of those within the industry not having ID cards will also be addressed in the month set aside to have the list prepared and sanitized. Among those present at the MMA meeting was the brother of Mr. Winston Rigby, the fisherman killed by Africanized bees while he and others were making their way from the foreshore to the public road at number 27 Village, West Coast Berbice. He and the other fishermen, who were with the now dead fisherman and were also stung by the bees, were engaged by Minister Mustafa, who, in addition to offering his sympathies on behalf of himself and government, has offered help to the Rigby family and has committed to working with the immediate family to offset any hardships they may encounter down the road. Also present at that meeting was Honorable Minister Sonia Parag, who has geographic responsibility for Region 5.